is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to talk about the Dallas Mavericks and Kristaps Porzingis. First, I want to say my what to expect season previews will start September 1st. You guys can tell me what team you want to see first in the comment section below. Whichever one gets the most votes or the most people requesting it, that's going to be the video that I do first. But I want to talk about Porzingis a little bit because this is a guy that a lot of people has had mixed feelings on. Some people feel like Porzingis has been underrated. Some people don't even think about Porzingis. Some people don't even think this duo will be that great because they don't know how Porzingis is going to come back because he did have a major injury to his knee and he is a big man. But I think people often forget how great of a player Porzingis was in New York, not even just the season that he was an all-star, but even the 18 points that he put up in his sophomore season. Porzingis was a guy that a lot of people wasn't thinking about. A lot of people didn't really jump on the bandwagon early. They thought it was a mistake for Phil Jackson to pick Porzingis because he wasn't ready right now at that time because they had Carmelo and they wanted to compete with Carmelo instead of trying to rebuild. And Porzingis ended up becoming exactly what Phil thought. He was a guy that became an all-star quickly. It didn't even take him 5 years. It took him 3 years to become an all-star in the East. He was a 20-point scorer very quickly, and he has very nice touch. He is very mobile and lanky, and he is a guy that can protect the rim while also being a guy that can be a threat offensively, especially if you feed him the ball. He has the ability to shoot over everybody almost in the NBA because there's not too many guys that's tall enough than him, and the guys he can't shoot over or the guy that's not as quick as he is on that perimeter spot. Some people have been asking about Porzingis, is he a 4? Is he a 5? I personally think it doesn't really matter because Porzingis' versatility allows him to play those multiple positions, and I think that that's just a strength. If you have a guy that can play the 4 or the 5, depending on who you want to put out there, what lineup you want out there, you have the versatility and the flexibility to have a guy that can play multiple positions while also still being able to defend those positions and not really be a liability. Because Porzingis was a little skinny coming into the NBA, but he's at 240 right now, which isn't the biggest, especially for a guy that's 7'3", but it's still better than he was before. And then you look at his numbers. He had played 32 minutes the last 2 seasons, and the highest amount of shots that he took was 18, and that was his junior season. He was able to shoot 43% from the field and 39% from 3, 79% from the free throw line, and give you 6 rebounds and 2.4 blocks a game while giving you over 18 points a game in those back-to-back seasons. And I think that that is something that is important, showing that Porzingis can be a guy that you can feed the ball and he can give you quality production on a game-to-game basis. His efficiency doesn't scream, but he's a guy that plays more on the perimeter than outside, and most perimeter players don't shoot the ball well because shooting is hard and it can be very inconsistent. And that's one thing I want to see what Porzingis do with Dallas, because we done seen how Dallas has utilized Dirk Nowitzki, has been able to extend his career because of his ability to space out the floor, and it was an ageless game. The only thing that caught Dirk was the late injuries in his career. Other than that, Dirk was able to play and be an effective player for a very long time, but he wasn't the defender and he didn't have the size of a guy like Porzingis. Porzingis is taller, he is more mobile, he is a better defender and rim protector than Dirk was. Dirk was a better rebounder, but as he got older, he became an okay rebounder, and I think that that's something that I would like to see Porzingis do, is rebound the ball significantly better, because you look at Kevin Love's and they able to space out the floor but also still dominate on the rebounds. I don't like when players say or people say, well, he plays on the perimeter more majority of the time. There's no reason why you can't get 10 rebounds a game, because if you really want to get them, you should be able to get that done, especially when you're taller than everybody on the court. Plus, you have a huge ass wingspan that allows you to suck up the rebounds and even get them in crowds. And if Porzingis was really hungry and he had that motor, he will be able to get more than 7 rebounds a game because he's playing 32 minutes. And if you're going to play 32 minutes, that means you should be able to grab more rebounds and you should be able to have more of a force. And defense, part of the defense is defensive rebounding and closing out the possessions. And when you look at the Dallas Mavericks team, they don't really have guys that are great rebounders, and I think that that's something that they're going to have to fix. The biggest problem with Porzingis is the fact that he played 66 games in the sophomore year and 48 games in the junior year after tearing his ACL. The health has always been a concern with Porzingis since he got into the league, and I think that that's something that he's going to have to battle. That's going to be a demon he's going to have to battle because this team isn't really that deep in my perspective. I think a lot of this team is predicated on how well Doncic and Porzingis play, and I think that's unfortunate, but that's the way this team is built. They definitely need somebody that they can rely on. They need somebody that can really help Doncic out offensively, and that's one of the reasons why they struggled last year a lot is because once they traded Dennis Smith and the rest of their players, they never really had the players that they needed to compete on a nightly basis, and it caused Doncic to get some minor injuries. But if that continues to happen, Doncic cannot do it all. He's a great player. He should be an all-star. Everybody loves him. Everybody feel like he can play, but he only can really do so much. And I feel like he gave all he could really give last year. His body was a little beat up, and he went out there and gave you a 27-6 season, which hasn't been done in a while. But let's show you how impactful and how smart and how great Luka Doncic really is, and the fact that he can improve significantly on his shooting and his ball handling and his finishing ability. It shows you that if he really wants to be better, he can too. But you also got to look at Porzingis. Porzingis has to challenge himself to do as much as he can and get as much maximize his talent as much as he can. And I feel like he has done that, becoming a 20-point scorer, and it didn't take him that long to do that. But I feel like his game is just so easy. I don't think the ACL is really going to destroy his career offensively because that size is something you can't teach, and that size is something that most teams does not have. And when you see his New York footage and you watch the games, a lot of his shots are spot up mid range, spot up threes, or just shooting over smaller defenders. And the fact that he can post up a little bit, got a little pull-up game. He can get to the switches and punish switches because he can shoot over every point guard, every shooting guard, every small forward, and he's quick enough and mobile enough to still get his shot off without having to worry or try that hard. And I think that that's something that makes his game a lot easier for the team is just because you can just throw him the ball and it's damn near automatically a mismatch depending no matter who really guards him. And I think that that's very important. So Porzingis, I think that he can easily average 20 points a game. Obviously, the biggest thing that people question about Porzingis is if he can stay healthy and how he treated his body and how he is trying to come back this season and make a run with the Luka Doncic already on his team and make a run at a playoff spot. Some people think Dallas is going to be a team that's going to miss the playoffs. Some people think that they're just not great enough and they're too young to really influence winning enough to win in the Western Conference, which has got it even tougher and ever got even harder. But this is good for their legacy. If Luka Doncic and Porzingis make it to the playoffs, not even this year, but next year, it is going to show you how great of a duo they are because it's hard to make the playoffs in the West and it's hard to win a championship coming out of the West. We done seen that been proven for the last couple of years is if you can make it out the West, that's just an accomplishment on its own. If you can make it to the Western Conference Finals, that's an accomplishment on its own because some of the great players that done played in the West, the Dames and the Hardens and the Davises, even LeBron missed the playoffs his first year in the West. Even though he did get injured, he did come back in enough time to help them make it to the playoffs, but they just couldn't get any wins even when LeBron came back from the injury, so that's still no excuse because they still going to make the playoffs. But LeBron wasn't able to help them win when he came back, even though they still was in the playoff race. They was never able to get that sixth, seventh, or eighth seed anyway. So it is tough, and your margin for error is very small. So one 15-game injury can take the Dallas Mavericks from being a playoff team to being out of the playoffs and only winning about 35 to 40 games, which is about where everybody has them. And if that happens, that's going to be an unfortunate season, but it could continue to happen. And that's a sad part about it is Porzingis is a guy and Doncic is a guy that if they miss 10 games, are they going to be able to win enough of those games to help balance out the rest of the season and get them into the playoffs? And that's something that we're just going to have to see. Can Doncic and can Porzingis stay healthy? Can they mesh well enough to where they can get off to a great start? Or will they be fighting for the ball and will they be fighting for possessions? Or will they both sacrifice and be unselfish to help this team reach its full ability and its full peak, which is potentially a 7th or 8th seed? And if they do that, then they're not really going to complain because the goal will be met at that time. And I really want to see. This is going to be one of the funnest duos. This is a team that's getting a lot of hype. This is a team that everybody can't wait to see because Doncic actually got an all-star caliber player. He played at an all-star caliber level last year, and they both have shown that they can help lead a team to 30 wins apiece. But can they lead a team in the Western Conference to the playoffs? That's what we have to see. But Porzingis has the mobility. He has the touch. He has the size, he has the shooting ability, and he has the length with his wingspan to basically dominate on all levels from the field when it comes to scoring. It's just about knocking those shots down consistently and making the best out of your opportunity and dominating offensively when you get the ball and doing your part. And I think we're going to see a different type of Porzingis because Dallas want him. They paid him without even playing one game for the Mavericks. They traded for him, and they really believe that Porzingis can be something special. And if that's the case, they already have something special with Doncic. So we all going to look forward to the season and see what they really can do together as a duo. And can they get to the playoffs? It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, especially staying healthy with this roster. But if this is the Porzingis that we seen last time he was in the NBA, I think they have a shot. But just the thing about that, he still missed a whole lot of games those 2 years when we did see the real Porzingis. Best part about it is he don't have to do as much carrying the load because he will have Doncic and some solid role players around him. And Rick Carlisle is an offensive genius and a defensive genius with his coaching staff, and they should be able to put Porzingis in areas where he can get easy opportunities, and they can put a defense around him that can really help make him become possibly a defensive player of the year type player in the future once they plug in the other pieces around them and upgrade their roster from the years to come. Right now, this is an experiment. This is a trial. This is the first theory, and then they can work on it and master it and evolve it as they keep them together. As they still, Luka's still on his rookie contract and got some years to go, and Porzingis has got an extension with the Mavericks already that should allow them to experiment and test out a lot of other lineups, a lot of other players, and continue to build around this duo and this core. So I really want to see. Let me know what you guys think about Porzingis. Can he become an all-star in the West? Is he overrated? Is he underrated? Or you don't really care about Porzingis and Doncic because they won't be good enough because they are too young, or they don't play great enough defense, or the injuries are going to keep them away from reaching their potential this season, which is a potential playoff berth. Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys want to see for what to expect as the first video as I bring the series back September 1st. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.